when I started training for this marathon, I had to switch up my training in general around weights and the running so that I could do both without one interfering with the other. And usually I would do 3 days a week of lower body day, but with the running, now I'm doing 2 days of lower body. And even though it's just 1 day difference, it feels like I haven't worked out in forever on my lower body, even though Saturday, or was it Friday, I did a lower body session. I can't remember if it was Friday or Saturday. But now it's Wednesday, and we're at lower body day, and I'm so excited for this one. Okay, so before I go into my lift, I'm gonna do this cable kickback, and I'm only doing it on my right side just to get extra work for that right glute. For me, my right side is my more weaker side when it comes to the glute muscle, so I'm giving this side extra attention. So for this exercise, make sure that you keep your core tight and you're only lifting your leg as high as it goes without arching your lower back. Now I'm moving on to some squats, and although squats is a compound exercise, obviously we think of it as like, hey, we're working our lower body, but squats are so much easier if you pay attention to what's going on with your upper body. Obviously you want to brace your core and keep your elbows more down and not flared out backwards like chicken wings. But pay attention to what your upper back is doing as well. If you have a tight, strong upper back, like a tripod, right there where that bar is resting on your shoulders, you will feel so much stronger in your squat. The leg press machine is really good at isolating the quads, but I don't have a leg press machine in my gym, so we're gonna improvise and use a Smith machine and set it up as a leg press. Keep in mind though, when you're doing a leg press, don't lock your knees out. When you come up to the top, you still want to have a soft bend in your knees. And this is because we want to keep the tension on our muscles, not the joints in our knees. And then it's important to not let your lower back or your butt lift off the ground at any point during this exercise. And so only go as low as you can go while maintaining contact with the ground. Now I'm going into some hip thrust, and I did 3 sets of the hip thrust, but on each set, I did a different variation. And so on this one, I had my feet pretty much hip width apart, but then I have the band around my knees and I'm pushing my knees outward against the band. On the next set, my feet are touching, but I'm still pushing my knees outward against the band. So depending on foot placement, you're gonna feel your glute fire up in different areas when you're doing hip thrust. And for the last set, I remove the band and I'm going as wide as I can while it's still making sense for the movement. And y'all, hip thrust is one of the best glute exercises, and men and women should both be doing glute exercises. And I don't even mean just for aesthetic purposes. Your glutes are one of the biggest muscle groups in your body, and they are a powerhouse muscle. If you want to run faster, jump higher, have less knee pain, less back pain, better posture, you need to make sure you are strengthening the glutes to the best of your abilities. And last, I finished up with some RDLs, and this one is pretty straightforward. You want to keep your core tight and braced, keep your neck neutral with your spine, lower the weight by pushing your hips back, and keeping the weight as close to your shins as possible on the way up and the way down. And keep in mind, with an RDL, you don't need to lower the weight all the way to the ground. You're only going as far down as it takes to feel a really good stretch in your hamstrings, and then you come back up. And that's gonna wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.